Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Naruto was the storm? Well, was the god of storm. Now, before I continue on, yes, it's been a while for me to upload, and my first channel, and not my second channel, but yeah, but this is a new what if. That's just because when my not a friend requested it, but pretty much he did kind of talk about it. That the what if community is kind of weird half the damn time. He texted me like in the morning at like 10 o'clock in the morning when I just woke up my ass up. But yeah, not gonna lie, yeah, it's kind of weird half the time. But not the point. So yeah, this is what's it called. What if Naruto was the god of storm? So yeah, pretty much for being the god of storm, he will have wind, lightning, and water mastery to become the god of storm. But not the point. Let me begin. Well, the original what if title would have been what if Naruto was the god of wind. Then I just added lightning, then he added water, and then we just said screw it, we are gonna just say the god of storm. But yeah, now if you don't know who the god of storm in Japanese mythical culture or whatever, the mythology, pretty much it's Susanoo. Susanoo no something, I forgot what it's called, but pretty much he is the god of storm. In the god of storm of other things, I think in Greek mythology it would be Zeus. So yeah, but I'm just gonna pick the Japanese kind of mythology for being Susanoo. But yeah, now I'm not talking about like the Susanoo use, the big ass user. I'm talking about like Susanoo, the Japanese mythical culture. But yeah, but not the point. I feel like none of you will understand, but I don't care. Let me begin into the what if. Let me shut the fuck up and let me But yeah. So, we begin into mostly a world. The world contains these 5 nations that have been in war for the past couple of fucking years. There has been 3 shinobi wars. Of course, all those 3 shinobi wars were pretty devastating towards the, world. The world that everyone lives in, or mostly the 5 great nations live in. The first great nation is the fire nation. Well, the fire country. The second, the first is the fire country, with their leaf village being hidden in the leaves. The second mostly nation is the lightning mostly nation, the hidden in the clouds. The third will be earth country, the hidden in the stone. Fourth will be wind country, the hidden in the sand village, and fifth will be water country, hidden in the mist. Of course, with these all 5 powerful nations, there's also smaller nations that are around, or mostly near Earth country. Mostly they're all near there because, there's hidden in the darkness, there's hidden in the stars, hidden in a lot of places, but yeah, more or not hidden, mostly darkness country, star country. Yeah, you get the point. Of course, there's so many powerful users that have been over time throughout history, mostly throughout the whole 3 great nations, and before that. Now, of course, we go into one of the most famous people and strongest people in the whole world that are pretty known. Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju. Then there's also Minato Namikaze for being one of the fastest in the world. Toriyama Senju for being one of the most racist in the whole world. But of course, and there's the strongest being Hiruzen Sarutobi. What this story contains, which I'm talking about, but the story continues to find people who are really strong in different countries or one another. But of course, we take into the story into the strongest storm user, the strongest user to ever exist for lightning, water, and wind. So we'll begin into this young boy that have just been born into the family of the previous fastest man alive. But we go into a 4-year time skip. So we go into mostly and this mostly his hair isn't yellow like it was supposed to be, but instead it's a lightish bluish grayish. Well, it's a lightish whitish kind of bluish blackish kind of color. Of course, well, his eyes are actually golden. They're not, well, what's it called? Blue, but yeah, this is where, well, he kind of is walking around. People still glare at him, but that's just because of the whiskers that he has on his face. For the fact that he is none other than Naruto Uzumaki. This is where, well, Naruto Uzumaki has been a kind of child that's been hated around the village because about 4 years ago, on the Nine-Tails attack, mostly the Nine-Tails was free out of the previous Jinchuriki, and of course the Nine-Tails rampage, trying to destroy everything. Of course he was under control, and of course who stopped him was the fastest man alive, and that was none other than Minato Namikaze. This is where, well, the Minato Namikaze sealed the Nine-Tails into Naruto Uzumaki, but Naruto Uzumaki does not know anything about that. But Naruto has been not pretty much a troubled child. He's been kind of an emotionless child. Now, of course, when people did try to attack him, he was able to kind of use wind without using even chakra. The wind literally kind of pushed anything away from him. Literally, there's always a force field around him that nothing can ever touch him. He was a strange type of child. Wind was at his feet, controlling it without even noticing it. This is where, well, there's also the fact if you would have made him really angry, lightning would have crackled around his body. Of course, making him much more deadlier. And being a 4-year-old makes him unpredictable. But yeah. Of course, is where, well, there's also the fact that when people made him a sad or kind of make him depressed, the village would have been flooded in an instant. Thanks to the fact that rainwater would have been pouring down. Now, of course, people don't know why or how Naruto's able to do this, but they know that's connected to Naruto. Because when Naruto's back to his emotionless state, the wind is still being around him. When he's at his most angry state, lightning will be crackling around him. And when he's at his most depressed state, water will be flowing down like if he was crying. So yeah. Of course, this is where Hiruzen knows that, well, knows one thing. He knows that Minato and Kushina were really strong in their kind of like mostly nature elements. Like Kushina was really strong in water nature. She was from the Uzumaki clan, yeah. And Minato was strong in his lightning infinity since he was from the Namikaze. So yeah, even though the Namikaze isn't much of a clan in Naruto, but yeah. But of course, well, Naruto, he has wind also. So he's thinking that he inherits his water infinity from his mother, but much more powerful. And inherit the lightning infinity from his father, but much more powerful also. And now inherit wind that he doesn't even know where he inherits that, or he just kind of got it. But yeah. Mostly he himself kind of just developed it. But yeah. Or unless there was another person in the family that had a very powerful wind infinity. But of course, well, Naruto didn't care. Naruto went on with his life. As a 4-year-old, right now blocking people, people never truly could hurt him. Even when he was a child, mostly when he was like a 3-year-old, 2-year-old, people never could kill him. One time before Hiruzen left, he did notice that someone had a kunai and tried to stab Naruto. But of course, when the kunai was about to stab a baby Naruto, mostly a 2-year-old Naruto, Hiruzen would have stopped him, but of course the kunai snaps, and of course it was cut in an instant by wind itself. This is where, well, Hiruzen got the man, and of course tackled him down. Of course, told almost to execute him right now. But yeah, but not in front of Naruto. But of course, well, he never understood Naruto. So of course he had to put him in his own house. But yeah, even Naruto's own house is a little bit deadlier than anything. When Naruto's near his house, it's always guarded by, well, nature itself for some reason. Green vines would have easily grabbed anyone's leg and throw them out of the way. Like, they don't know what the fuck is happening. But mostly at that portion of, what's it called? Mostly the portion of where he lives, it usually rains a lot. Most of the time, all the green naturally grass that used to be dead before Naruto moving in was now luscious and green, and of course much more powerful and much more deadly at the same time, because vines would have literally grabbed anyone who seems to have a hint of trying to kill Naruto. This is where, well, Naruto, he didn't care and what happened to people like those, if they got flung out of the house, thrown into the ground, crushed, whatever. He doesn't care. He has such an emotionless face. Even though he has golden eyes and kind of this like blackish hair, mostly black but whitish hair and bluish kind of color. It's such a beautiful mix of color hairs. But of course, he has such an emotionless look. He doesn't care. He really never cares. But we go into mostly a time skip. Naruto is now 8 years old, and of course Naruto, he's been just training on his physical body a little bit, but yeah, just because he doesn't know what to do that much. No one wants to be his friend. No one actually likes him because of Nine Tails. He doesn't even know about the Nine Tails, but he just thinks that everyone doesn't like him because of the fact that he can control kind of elements pretty early. And people think that he's probably a threatening monster or something like that. He's not wrong, but yeah. But of course, the wind has always been by his side. Literally, the wind, lightning, and even water has always been by his side. Ever that he can actually remember, he's been able to control wind. Even when he kind of when he slaps the air just to make a wind blade, he could actually do it. It's like if it was such second nature to him. But of course, it didn't matter. He just did train and never cared about anyone else. He used his own wind style to cut down trees when he was training, using lightning style to make very powerful techniques. Even though he was an 8-year-old, he was a prodigy over prodigies. He was just a genius. And of course, every time he just needed to learn how to read or anything, he would have just kind of transformed his body into wind just to get into the library without being asking how he's there or whatever, because the librarian would have kicked him out. But of course, this is where he got books, he didn't check them out, fuck that, he didn't care. And this is where he transformed back into wind and just teleport out of there, but yeah, or just flew out of there, but yeah, carrying the books. Now of course, he reads on most of the things, and yeah, of course, since he's a prodigy over prodigies, he's extremely smart. And so he doesn't even know why he should go to the academy. But one day that did really happen. Hiruzen wanted him to go to the academy early. But yeah, just so he can be making friends. Because he knows that Naruto doesn't make any friends. Literally, he stays in his house. When people dare try to get near him, they get blasted away. Even though Hiruzen wanted to put more seals so the chakra nature will be gone, but that didn't really work. Instead, the seals just melted off his body. The one seal that never melted off his body was the Nine-Tailed seal. It's like the seals that he put on were just seals that threatened Naruto in existence. And of course, they literally melted off because lightning crackled around Naruto so fast, destroying all the seals and then melted off. This is where, when it came to the Nine-Tailed seal, it seems like whatever's protecting him or whatever it knows that the Nine-Tailed seal should be protected at all costs. Any other seal should fuck off. So yeah, this is where Naruto just kind of walks by himself to the academy after hearing that he needs to go to the academy. When he gets to the academy, he kind of just looks around, sees a bunch of students, and of course the teacher glares at him, and this is where Naruto ignores him. Naruto just goes to sit down on a seat, but yeah, this is where, most of the students kind of whisper kind of towards their partner or whatever friend and say, that kid was weird. Do you saw his face? His eyes were weird. This is where, people are just talking mad and blah, 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 like any normal child would have done. But of course, this is where, one kid spoke out rumor saying, that's the kid that's so weird. He used to most cause trouble. He's that kid that no one should ever talk to him because there's always something bad happening to him around him. Blah, 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 blah. This is where, Naruto doesn't care. His face is so emotionless that it doesn't really affect him at all. Pain or anything doesn't really affect him. Whispers doesn't care. He can actually hear for miles and literally doesn't care. This is where, the older man kind of goes on, but yeah, it's not, what's his name? Inuzuka? No, not Inuzuka. Aruka. It's not Aruka this time. It's just someone else. But we go into a 2-year time skip. Naruto has not really been taught by anyone that much, and neither did the tuning teachers. But yeah, this is where we go into mostly him put in a class with a bunch of heirs, just to see if he will be getting along with heirs. Yeah, that wasn't even the case. The third fucking year, mostly he was the third year, and of course he fell like twice, but this time it's a bunch of heirs. Harusen wanted him to at least make one friend in the entire school. He tried with the siblings, but he knew that that wasn't gonna work. He tried with like other people, that didn't work. He tried with the heirs now, mostly the main heirs from different clans, and that didn't work at all. Instead, it kind of backfired. Some of the heirs were trying to bully Naruto, which Naruto looked at them with this mostly look of the fuck you're looking at. This is where, well, the heir started with a cocky heir look, well, mostly an arrogant look. So of course they tried to put Naruto in their place, but literally get pushed and smashed into a wall. This is where, well, the three who literally tried to kind of beat up on Naruto was from the Inuzuka, the what's it called? Well, yeah, the Inuzuka, and let me say that again. So it was from the Inuzuka, another guy from the Inuzuka also, mostly Kiba Inuzuka and someone named Sanshin Inuzuka. Mostly it's like a twin brother of what's it called, Kiba, but not twin brother, mostly like a friend of him. And of course the other person was just a sibling, but yeah. They got smashed into the wall in an instant, and of course this is where Naruto didn't care. Of course, where Naruto went on with his life, not caring that much, that he just literally smashed into the wall and didn't care. Of course, the Inuzuka did try to execute Naruto by attacking him, because they attacked two, mostly one heir and one other Inuzuka. So of course, other Inuzukas tried to attack Naruto, which made Naruto really angry and didn't even hesitate in slaughtering them. But yeah, this is where Naruto put both of his hands out and put them into kind of being like mostly two of his fingers together, like if he was going to do the what's it called, gentle fist. But of course the lightning crackled around him, and he just teleported behind them, right now putting out both of his fingers out in front of him. And of course the Inuzukas himself were all slaughtered in an instant. This is where, well, Naruto was covered with blood that day, but he didn't care. He didn't just walk off. Of course his hair did crackle up, but that's not the point. This is where, well, Naruto kind of went on with his life, but yeah, of course that he was kind of now 11 years old, but he failed the test again. He looks like he's failing the test on purpose. He could easily like throw shurikens and kunai perfectly. He could have done a lot of things, but he looks like he's just failing the test on purpose. Like, other than that, he just doesn't care. Now it's his kind of last year and his last chance to become a shinobi. This is where, well, everything changes on this year. The reason why is that he actually made a friend. That was actually his first time actually making a friend. This girl was mostly a girl with blondish hair and dullish blue eyes. She seems to be also an outcast to everyone, from the fact that she seems to kind of not really like anyone and pretty much always just be by herself. This is where she sighed most of the time. She didn't care. She didn't like any guy. And of course, any guy dared to even get close to her, she would have beat the shit out of them. But of course, this is where one day happened, which she got caught off by like 5 people. 5 dudes that aren't really from her class, but mostly like these older people. And they were trying to kind of molest her, but yeah. Of course, they say, "Aw, isn't this girl from the, what's it called, one clan? Yeah. Maybe we should like teach her how to be a good girl." This is where they're kind of talking blah 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 amongst themselves. And of course the blonde haired girl was kind of scared. This is where, well, she was closing her eyes, already knowing that this could be bad and her family might go outraged, but they probably won't even care. And of course this is where, well, she was about to just willingly kind of give up already, until something happens. 5 of the, what's it called, older men literally got lifted up by the wind. And of course, this is where, well, when they were lifted up by wind, this is where a storm started appearing around on top of them. This is where they said, "How we fly?" This is where, well, the person behind them says, "Lightning strike storm blast." This is where, well, lightning strikes from the sky, and even, what's it called? Well, mostly lightning, literally, well, not lightning. First it was water, mostly rain, and then lightning cracks around them and just smashes all 5 of them, and then barbecue them in an instant, smashing them also down to the ground, blasting them down like in an instant, like a rocket. This is where all 5 men was knocked out. Of course, the girl didn't know what's happening, but when she opened her eyes, she got her mostly her bluish, palish blue eyes met up with goldenish eyes, goldenish dead eyes. This is where, the person says, "Are you okay?" This is where, she kind of started having feelings for this person after a while. She doesn't remember who he is. He's none other than Naruto Uzumaki, the guy who probably is a monster, or not a monster, pretty much a monster, because he's lonely half the time, he doesn't like people, and there was always incidents that he caused a lot of incidents and trouble making. This is where, she kind of looked into his golden bright eyes, and of course she blushes a little bit, saying, "Yeah, I'm fine." This is where, Naruto, if he can remember also right, Naruto thinks that he said, if he can remember also right, this is Junko Himarashi. She's from the clan of mostly being able to use emotions, but yeah. This is where, Naruto says, "You're Junko, right?" This is where, the blondish hair girl, mostly palish, blondish, rose kind of hair girl kind of nodded. She then says, "You're Naruto, right?" This is where, Naruto nodded. Of course, his face is still emotionless, but yeah. This is where, Junko smiles and says, "Do you want to be friends?" Naruto, that day, his eyes actually widened and, of course, shown a little bit more emotion. And this is where Naruto grabbed both of her hands and said, "Yes." This is where, she blushes because she never actually felt someone else's hands. But, of course, they were so soft and actually smooth that she kind of felt from Naruto's hands. This is where Naruto says, "You really mean that you're going to be my first friend?" This is where, Junko smiles and says, "Yeah." This is where, both of the young students actually started becoming friends, and they actually talk a lot after that day. Mostly Naruto started talking about her, the fact that he can control wind, lightning, and water pretty easily without even caring that much. And of course, if she needs any help with the material from any of the class, or from the class in general, that he will be helping her. Of course, where Junko realized that he's pretty damn smart. He's the same age as her, but he acts more like a teacher. Actually, pretty damn smart. Smarter than any of the teachers that she ever had. And of course, Naruto would help her with her own elements and even chakra herself. Of course, Naruto's chakra is so good that he can actually control it pretty easily. It's almost like Kage's level's chakra level. Of course, he has high chakra level, like so much of it, but also has good control over it. Of course, like if his own elements are literally keeping something in bay and trying to stop it from actually messing with him. Listen, where, the girl was actually happy to ever make a friend and actually become much more livelier and of course much more kind of girly around Naruto, because she was more stoic and kind of tomboyish. But of course, she was actually happy to kind of ever have a friend. Naruto, on the other hand, has become much more livelier, smiling a little bit, and of course always friendly with her. But when it comes to others, he has a dead look in his eyes. Like if you dare come anywhere near him, he will slaughter you. Like if he was Itachi, he had that look of Itachi, like come near me, I'm gonna kill you motherfuckers. But yeah. But of course, also if you can hear that storm, it's basically, not storm, if you can hear that, what's it called, loud kind of thing or whatever, it's pretty much just a storm kind of warning thing that mostly comes around where I live. But yeah, and there's no storm, I don't think so, because it might be looking cloudy outside, but there's really no storm. But yeah, let me go back into the water, because that would be kind of fucking ironic. There's a tornado literally coming towards us when I'm doing this what if. Not the point. Let me get into this what if, okay? I'm rambling on. Let me go back, okay? Of course, Naruto and Junko has always just been friends throughout the whole year, and also meeting up with other people, mostly other people. 2 other girls that mostly hate each other, but pretty much like Naruto. This is where, one girl has kind of blackish hair and reddish eyes, but of course one of her reddish eyes is basically covered up by her black hair bangs, by mostly covering up her one of her eyes. Mostly it's her right eye, and of course and the other side of the girl who she kind of hates, is a girl with whitish hair, bluish crystallized eyes, and of course this is where her white hair is actually covering up her left side, mostly her left eye, and yeah. Now, of course, they always glare at each other because they thought they copy each other's style. Now, both of them are both from two different clans. One is from the Darkness clan and one is from the Light clan. But yeah, of course, there weren't Naruto's always chuckling around them because they're always arguing a lot about stuff. Junko always gets annoyed with them and literally punches both of them in the head and says, "Go away, stop bothering him. Stop bothering Naruto-sama." This is where Naruto chuckles and says, "It's not that I don't care about that." This is where Junko says, "Huh? Do you actually like them bothering you then?" This is where Naruto says, "No, no, no, no. It's just funny to me." This is where Junko says, "Shut up already." This is where she kind of like sits down and literally just kind of lays on Naruto's leg and says, "You're my stuffed pillow then." This is where she kind of says, and this is where Naruto a little bit tend to blush, says, "Yeah, I'm gonna be going to sleep, okay?" This is where Naruto said it a little bit. This is where he kind of puts his head backwards and starts kind of falling asleep. This is where, both what's it called, the girls from the Light and Darkness. Mostly the girl from Darkness is named Raven, and of course the girl from Light is named, what's it called, so her name was Elizabeth, and of course this is where both Raven and Elizabeth kind of arguing most of the time, getting angry at each other, but yeah. This is where Naruto's asleep, Junko's also asleep. And this is where, the teacher comes and, of course, kind of tells him to quiet down, quiet down. Of course, most of the guys already realized that, Naruto has really pretty much a population of female, mostly female fangirls around him. Now, of course, there's the three main ones, mostly Raven, Elizabeth, and even Junko. But there's also the other class females that are kind of liking Naruto just because he's cool, calm, and has a good attitude, somewhat, if he's actually friends and willing to be next to you. This is where, some girls have actually has a glimpse of seeing his smile one time, even though it's kind of creepy that it sounds like it. But of course, his smile is actually such a warm kind of smile. It's like if everything around, anyone just becomes warmer and of course friendlier with him. Like if the sky literally starts becoming much more brighter half the time. This is where, Naruto barely smiles and of course just shows his emotionless look half the time. But when it comes to the three girls that are usually around him, usually he smiles just for them to kind of stop kind of fighting. But yeah, he usually uses smiles just for the three girls not to fight each other. This is where, they mostly calm down. But yeah, this is where, someone else sits next to Naruto, and it's none other than one of the top two students who's actually equal to Naruto in the boys' side. Mostly his name is, his name is Azo, and of course this person has black hair. Of course his eyes are basically a dojutsu, permanent dojutsu, that are just stars. But if he adds chakra towards them, the stars mostly move, but yeah, in his eyes. And of course he seems to have a Kekkei of star, mostly star chakra, but yeah, where he can actually use stars to be able to cut down his enemies or just blast them with a kind of rainbowish color from the sky. But yeah, think of it from Naruto, Azrael, but yeah, Azrael Dreamer, but yeah, similar to that. Was it where, mostly Azrael is just sleeping, but yeah, because he also is pretty cool and calm, similar towards, Naruto. The problem is that both of them, are kind of good friends with each other because they really don't care about anything. Now, of course, Azo kind of has the problem of, like, not many fangirls kind of liking him because they kind of think that he's kind of weird. He's not much of a perp, but, he is, but then again, he just tries to act calm and cool most of the time because when it comes to battling and other stuff, he just has to act pretty calm and cool because he knows that if he screws up, Naruto isn't there to save his ass, but yeah. This is where, both of them are just kind of taking a fucking nap. This is where, the teacher goes on with the test and how it's going to be tomorrow and other stuff and be prepared students and other things like that, which all the students not. Now we go into the next day. Of course, this is where, well, it's Naruto and Asuo kind of being on the top leaderboard and actually becoming like the top student of like the rookie of the year. This is where Naruto uses what's called lightning shurikens and what's called wind kunai to easily throw them at its targets and easily destroy the targets pretty easily. Azo, on the other hand, just uses, well, what's it called, a star spear to just easily hit the targets pretty easily. This is where, when it comes to the battle between both of them, Naruto uses what's it called lightning, water, and what's it called wind elements. Well, he uses one element that's just star element. It's weird Kenkai one. Of course, they fight together, but of course, this is where Naruto came on top by accidentally, well, not accidentally, using water that was kind of hitting the ground, because yes, and of course makes it kind of become mud. And this is where when Azo was rushing towards him, Naruto fucking kicked his legs off of him and just pushed him out of the, what's it called, mostly out of the, well, the arena, which Azo was pretty damn pissed. But of course, well, Azo screams at, well, Naruto for that cheap-ass move, but this is where Naruto flipped him off and say, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, and 2 damn sandwiches, so fuck you. This is where, well, that shit happened. While, well, Azo was still pissed. All the other girls are fangirling, but yeah. But this is where, well, 3 girls kind of say, good job, Naruto. This is where Naruto looks at the 3 of them and just waves and smiles at them. This is where, well, they blush, and of course the other fangirls kind of just get angry, but yeah. But of course, this is where Azo says, fuck this, fuck you. This is where, well, the next was the Shadow Clone and, well, mostly Shadow Clone, Substitution, and even what called Henjutsu, but yeah. This is where, well, Naruto does it perfectly. Of course, where, well, Azo does also manage to do perfectly. And, of course, the other 3 girls. But, yeah, the other 3 girls mostly fought some, what's called, filler characters. Mostly cannon fodder, but, yeah. So, of course, this is where, well, we go on with, what's it called, the next day. Now, of course, the next day continues on with, what's it called, the team. Now, the team is so odd even. Well, mostly just odd, not really even. So, of course, there's 5 students that are mostly missing out on a team. And pretty much, it's either one team is going to have 2 people or one team is going to have 3 people. But yeah, or just two of those teams will have two and 1. But yeah, it's kind of confusing. But this is where Harusen decides to put all 5 of them in one. What's it called? Mostly 5 students and 1 like assigned teacher, or mostly 2 unassigned teachers. But yeah. But of course, we go on to the team. The team contains of Naruto, Azo, what's it called, Junko, Raven, and even Elizabeth together. But yeah, this is where people thought that was the most uneven fucking battle. Well, mostly uneven was called, well, team, because they are all powerful in their own rights. Naruto's already so much more powerful than anyone. Also considered to be also second powerful to him. This is where, well, the girls, Junko's the most powerful out of the 2 other girls, but the 2 other girls aren't that behind. Mostly they're tied for second, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, people just think this is such an uneven battle, blah, blah, blah. Guys are complaining, girls are also complaining, but this is where, well, Junko and Naruto stands up and uses their own chakra pressure to smash them all to the ground, saying, shut the hell up. This is where, well, Naruto says, shut the hell up for the guys, and the girls literally shut the hell up from, well, Junko's pressure. This is where, well, they both sit down, and of course, Naruto and Junko are just talking, smiling at each other, but yeah. This is where, well, everyone is scared because they don't want to make the storm as angry as ever, because they call Naruto the storm. Well, they call Junko the Queen of Despair, but yeah. Now, of course, well, that is happening, and their leader sensei does come pretty early. It's a guy with whitish hair, and of course, having a blindfold. But of course, there's someone else along with him, a girl with kind of purplish hair, and of course, brownish eyes. This is where, well, it seems to be a couple of 2 senseis, like, together, taking on this team. But of course, the first one is named Gojo Satoru, and of course, where, well, his eyes has a very powerful meaning, well, kind of a powerful dojutsu behind the blindfold. But of course, no one ever has seen it, except for his lovely girlfriend, who is named Uncle Midarashi. But yeah, it doesn't work. Well, they kind of tell them to go up to the roof. But yeah. But of course, for now, I'm going to just leave it off here. So have a nice potato night, potato, before I keep hiccuping and falling asleep on accident. But yeah. But other than that, bye.